Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I'm super happy to be back. Today, we have a special guest. We got Pretty and Baked in the house tonight, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to today's episode.
Thank you for having me.
You're a little nervous now.
Yeah,
Before we kind of practiced it off camera. I was like, give me a little backstory about who you are because I want to get to know before what questions I'm gonna ask. But thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So talk to me a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So my name's Leslie. I'm the owner of Pretty and Baked, which is my business. My business is I specialize in custom cakes. So I make cakes for any occasion, birthday parties, celebrations, anything like that. You name it, I got it. Besides the cakes, I also do other treats on the side like cupcakes, cake pops. I do pop-ups as well in different areas, whatever offers I get and everything like that. And then I am working at a coffee shop right now, so I do also try sell my treats there as well too.
And she actually brought me a cake with
Yes,
my photo on. So I'm going to put that right here. That way you guys can check that out. But how long have you been doing cakes for?
So cakes, recently, I think it's been about 3 years because besides the cakes, before the cakes, I only started doing treats. So it would just be literally cake pops, like little things like that. And I would even sell in high school too. Like in high school, throughout my freshman and senior year, if you needed something for Valentine's Day, I would sell cake pops, little strawberries and everything like that. So I would literally walk into school with a duffel bag and then like be ready to pass out orders for people like that too.
Shit. Okay, so I'm excited because my daughter does pastries as well. And I'm not going to lie, this is going to be more of I'm going to pick your brain because I know there's a lot of young people out there that want to start pastries and want to start just a business in general, right? So I want to get to know the discipline and the work ethic that comes behind all this, the project that you're doing, because I think a lot of it has to do with your upbringing.
Yeah.
So how was your upbringing like? How was your childhood like?
So I feel like when I was, little, and I feel like from the beginning, since I was born, I was always a hustler. Like my mom and my parents were always like, make sure we were disciplined. They taught us like, we weren't spoiled as kids, So when literally we used to live in the mobile homes, I was 7, 8 years old, and my mom would buy us little boxes of candies, and I would go door to door selling those candies. I'd sell anything I can when I could, just so I can make myself money. I could like do things for myself, help my parents out. So I feel like my parents just like helped me out a lot because they taught us like you can't get everything in life that you want. You have to work for it. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
So I feel like they helped me grow up a lot with that because I'm just like, if I want something, I have to go for it.
Yeah.
And they taught me a lot with that too.
And in school, were you because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that do really good at selling, but then in school that's not their interest because they're so focused on working, right? How were you because I know that you went to college, but how were you growing up in school? Were you like a straight A student or
So yeah, I was a pretty much straight A student. I was an average student. I had A's and B's, so I still kept up with my schoolwork. I still did everything I needed to do. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure like my parents knew that I was on top of my things. They had nothing to worry about. So I would stay in, like I was good in school, and I did go to college after I did go to college after I graduated. I only went for a year because what I wanted to do like was only culinary arts, but within the college I was at, I had to do other classes as well, like English, math, and everything. And I was like, I tried it out, but it wasn't for me because I'm just like, this isn't really what I want to focus on either. So I was like, I just want to go to learn what I need to do, and that's it. Okay. And that school, like I could go to a culinary school, but it was also expensive as well. So I'm just like, I'm going to learn myself, you know?
So you talked a little bit about selling candy from door to door. After that, what other businesses have you done besides what you're doing right now?
So ever since I was little too, 8 years old, I don't know, I just always liked baking. So I would just start baking for like little cupcakes for my family, like, this and that. Whenever I could, I would make little treats I literally started with an easy bake oven. My parents bought me one. So every time they had one, they'd come out with new recipes, and I'm like, Mom, let's go get this one so I could try it and this and that. So I started from there, and then like to actually baking and everything like that. And then it's just been like a favorite hobby of mine since I was little. And I was just like, I found a love for it that I wanted to do it like every day,
Yeah. So coming like baking and doing all these things come with a lot of creativity, right? Like it's not Because I mean, I've even tried to like help my daughter try to do some things, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know what looks nice. The colors don't match with this. You know,
Yeah, I
like
get what you
there's
mean.
like palettes and stuff. So it's like, where do you get your creativity from? Where does it come from? Is it just experience, or is it someone that you look up to that gives you that insight?
I just feel like it's experience for me, just because I don't know, ever since, yeah, since I was a little kid as well, like I've had a lot of passions for everything. So I like drawing, I like dancing, I like acting, like all that stuff. So I feel like all of it combined together, like that's where I like wanted to just stick with baking, because since I'm a like people consider me a good drawer. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, I feel like that also helps me with my business, because in some things you do need to decorate things or do need to hand draw things. So that, I feel like that helps me a lot when coming up with orders and people helping people's orders.
Yeah. What is one of the biggest experiences that you've learned working so far?
I just feel like not giving up on yourself, because there's a lot of setbacks, and there's times where you feel like, oh, like, should I even be doing this? Is this really what I want to do? You have that down in your head. And a lot of people can come like get in your head too, but I just feel like if this is what you want to do, you need to keep going. So like, when you want something or you dream of it or like you see your vision, you just got to go for it. Like I see a lot of potential in people, like my family members and everything. So as soon as they tell me an idea, I'm already like, okay, what do you want to do? Like, I'll make your logo. I'll do this for
Mm.
you. Here it is. Like, I want you to start it. So I want you to do what makes you happy.
Yeah. Do
Mm-hmm.
you find it difficult sometimes when you're talking to either friends or family members? Because I get exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because for us, at least, for me, I don't want to say it's easy, but I feel because I already have experience in what I do,
Yeah.
it comes natural to me to be like, oh, well, you want to do that? All you have to do is open a
Yeah.
page. You have to
I get
create a
what you mean.
logo. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no, they get so overwhelmed with it
Mm-hmm.
because they're not used to that type of mindset or that type of like adrenaline
Yeah.
or that
Yeah.
activity
It
of
happens a
being a
lot.
hustle, right? So does it get frustrating sometimes where you're like, shit, like I want to help them out, but they don't believe in themselves. It's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily you're doing something wrong. It's your mindset that's not allowing you to,
Yeah.
you know, grow.
Yeah, it's difficult for me because I'm just like, I have so much passion and love, like, for like my families and friends, so for them to tell me something, and like, I've literally have made logos for them because they've told me what they wanted to do. So I've done that stuff. Like my cousin Natalie, like, she told me she wanted to do nails when she was 15 years old. So for her birthday, I gifted her a set of like beginner set of how to do nails. So I gifted it to her, and now she does nails. So she did my
Oh
nails too. So
shit.
yeah, like, I love helping people achieving what they want to do. So I help people, and like sometimes it does get frustrating because I'm just like, no, I see it in you, I see the
Yeah,
potential, I
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
this, like,
yeah.
I want you to do it, like, it's just like, and you can only do so much for them at the
Yeah.
same time too. So I'm just like, I don't want to push it into you. This is not your time, it's not your time, but it'll come, and when it does, I'll be here for you. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna help you with it.
Yeah, because sometimes they need that extra push, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they need to surround themselves with people that are already doing it.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
some people will be like, well, I don't have that motivation like you do. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have that drive like you do. But it's like, if you hang around with people that have that motivation and have the dedication and then have the insights and not the shortcuts, but have that experience that's like, okay, you're going to help me get there a little bit quicker and you're going
Yeah.
to show me what you already learned.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a little bit easier. I just feel that, again, belief, discipline, hope, and drive, I feel, is like the main things that you need
Mm-hmm.
to be successful in what you do.
Yeah.
In high school, sometimes you start connecting with people that maybe don't have the right intentions into your life, right? In
Yeah.
terms of what they're doing or their example or
Mm-hmm.
their situations. So was there a times where you had to let go of some certain friends in order for you to continue your business, or are most of your friends supportive to
I
what you
feel
do?
like most of my friends and family were very supportive of what I did. Like I said, in high school, a lot of people knew me as like the girl who makes treats, so they would always hit me up and they'd always be like, "These are so nice. So what do you like? How do you do this? Or I want to order one and this and that." So people would be very supportive, even when I had my page, my business page.
Mm-hmm.
So how it actually even started is one of my friends, Jenny, wanted her sister was having a baby shower, and she asked me and my mom to do treats because before it was me and my mom doing it together. So we did treats for the party, just little things. It was just a little table with cupcakes, cake pops, and everything like that. And they came up while we were setting up and were like, oh, you do this? Do you have a business card? Like, I want to know this and that. So that kind of like pushed me and my mom, because like I said, we started together. So we're like, oh, people like what we do.
Yeah.
We might not be good at it right now as we are right now, but like they liked it at that time. So they were like, oh, like I want to do this, do that. So I was just like, mom, let's just keep doing it. Like, a lot of people from my school like what I do, and now we can start doing our little business together. So I feel like overall everyone was very supportive of what I did.
And what I know you did mention that you started getting into it as a young age. When is a time where you actually took it serious? Was there a moment where you're like, oh shit, like we're getting a lot of orders, this might end up being a career? Was there a particular moment that you realized that?
Well, I started in like freshman year, like taking like little orders, but little by little, but it was in cakes at the time. So at the time I only did dip strawberries, I only did cake pops and little things like that. But with the candy tables, since I was working with my mom at that time, we did it together. Like, I just feel like it was more maybe junior, senior year that we started getting more things. So I helped. I think we did it with her page first. So it was with her, but we did it together. Okay. So then I think it was when I graduated high school, like, me and my mom would fight over money. We would be like, no, like, I did this. I need to get this. Yeah. So I would be like, no, mom, like, you need to pay me more because I helped you do this and do this and do that. So, like, we would kind of bicker back and forth, like, no, this and that. So that's when, like, one day, literally, I just made a cake and was like, let me just try making a cake. Let me decorate it. And then I did. And, it came out pretty decent for that being my first time and everything. And I just decided, I was like, mom, like, not in a mean way. I was like, I'm still going to help you. I'm still going to, support you and everything. But I was like, I think it's time for me to get a different page aside from you and do my own thing. So that way, like, I can make my own income, my own money and this and that. Mm-hmm.
How was that to her?
I feel like she was kind of like, no, like, I don't even fight with you over that, this and that. But at the same time, she was like, okay, like, I get what you mean. Like, you do your own thing and I'll do my own thing, and I'm gonna still support you at the same time, Yeah. And I still help her out. Like, I still help her make some treats, and I help her go decorate. So I'm her little like employee too. When she comes, she has stuff, and she helps me out too. When I have to do pop-ups and stuff, she'll help me like box everything, like help me with little things like that.
How's your guys' relationship in terms of business? Obviously, I you guys are daughter and mom. So, has there been situations where it's like you have a creative idea and she has a creative idea, and it's like, no, let's do this way, let's do it that way, and you guys bump heads? I mean, I think it's normal because you guys are both creative people, right? Yeah. But do you think they always say that the student outgrows the teacher? Mm-hmm. Do you feel that happened in a certain moment where you're like, you know what, I just have different ideas? Mm-hmm. How was that for her?
I feel like, like I said, I feel like regardless, she was always supportive of me and what I wanted to do with my business. So she wasn't like, oh no, don't do this, like, I want you to stick with me. Like, she was like, okay, make your page, like, do what you need to do, and we bump heads here and there, like, when it comes, sometimes I don't, like, she has a creative mind too, so sometimes when she's explaining things to me, I'm just like, I don't get what you mean, like, I don't see, it's different things, so we have different visions and different things, so I'm like, I need to see it in person with you too, because I don't always get what you mean or what vision you're going for, and like, I do give her my input as well, and then she gives me her input too when it comes to me and my stuff like that.
Yeah. And how are you taking criticism?
I take it very well, I think. Yeah. Just like, I literally always ask everyone when it comes to like my family, my boyfriend, everything. I'm just like, taste this. What is the thing? Like, I want your honest opinion. Like, oh, what do you think of this? Or like, I'll send pictures like, oh, do you think this is nice? Do you think I should post this? Or you think I should start this? Like something new,
I ask you because there is a lot of entrepreneurs that once they start something and it goes well, I like to say que se le sube un poquito la caca in their fucking head. And they start thinking like, oh, you know what? Like, it's worked out for me, so I know best. Yeah. But I've always said publicly on my channel and the people that follow me on Instagram is that when I started my photography career, I literally would DM every single photographer I could and let them know like, hey, here's my photo. And I mean, I'm pretty sure like compare your first cake to like the first.
I always look back at that and I'm just like, you could tell there was a big difference, and people, I'm always like, how did people like this? Why did they order from me? Why did they do this? Why did they get orders from me when I was not good back then, compared to now? I'm just like, that's so insane.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, that you have to still stay humble,
Mm-hmm.
and then still be able to take criticism and
Yeah.
still be able to take feedback from your work,
Mm-hmm.
because it is hard to put yourself out there and then to not get that response.
Yeah.
But then when you do get that response, it's also hard to stay grounded, because sometimes it can get to your head where it's like, oh shit, like, yeah, they all love the cake, but then one time they don't fucking love it, or sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, like, are you hard on yourself when it comes down to that? Has there ever been a moment where you're like, fuck, I could have done a little bit of better
Yeah,
job?
there's been a couple of moments where I've given out a cake order. I've done stuff where I'm just like, dang, like you know I what I want is, I want to give what I want. So literally when I look at a cake, or when I look at all my cakes, I'm just like, is this good enough? Should I have done better? Could have done more? So there has been incidents where I know, like, I've been down on myself because I'm just like, no, I don't like what I gave them. Like, and I tell them, like, hey, I'm honest with my clients. So I'm like, hey, I don't know, I know I didn't do my best on this cake. Like, I want to give you a 50% refund, or here's credit for your next
Oh
order.
shit.
So that way I won't lose clientele, and let them know, like, I'll fix it next time, or I'll give you half off for next time and stuff like that. Because there has been little incidents where I felt myself like, no, I feel so guilty for giving them the cake
Yeah.
like that. So I tell them and make sure I communicate with them, like, hey, this is what happened. Like, even I know if I know I don't like it, I know you won't like it. You get
Yeah,
me? So
yeah.
I'm just like, I would like to be honest with my clients as well too.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about discipline. I want to bring value to the people that are watching, the young girls, the young kids that are watching this episode. What do you think, um was there any moment, or was it your parents? What was it that the reason why you have that much discipline in doing this? Because things can get distracting.
Mm-hmm.
There's friends going out to parties. There's you're super young.
Mm-hmm.
And what has kept you in line to continue being this successful?
And just like, I feel like my parents, they do push me. I just feel like having that support from everyone, like, they see how good I'm doing. So when I see how proud they are, I'm just like, okay, like, I want to keep this. I want to keep the consistency and the stability. So I'm just like, I'm doing something good here, and people do see a lot of potential in me. Like, just they see how big thing I can get, my business can get. They motivate me. So I'm just like, that motivation helps me a lot with keep going with my business. There is days and there's weeks and times where I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to reply back to messages. Like, sometimes it does get overwhelming. So I just have like periods of time where I'm just laying down. I'm just like, not taking orders or anything like that. But I'm just like, wait, like, no, I have this business. I have to keep continuing with it. Like, I know there's a lot I can do with myself. Like, God gave me this gift, and I need to use that gift. Like, I just I get excited and I get happy when I give people their cakes and I see how people get happy. Like, for me to be part of their celebration, like their anniversary or anything like that, like for my orders to, like, bring someone the happiness makes me happy. So I'm just like, I feel like my business is going good. It's doing good with people. And I'm just like, I got to keep going with it.
You talk a little bit about being down. There's a lot of people that are down because of lack of work, or they start double thinking their career, due to, anxiety, depression, whatever it can be. What is something that you do to get out of that? Because I know what you're talking about. I think every person that has a business goes through that little kind of slow rut of like, shit, like, I don't not want to do fucking shit today.
Yeah.
What do you do to get out of it, or what is something that you think that causes that for you?
I just feel like there's days where I just get lazy and I'm just like, I do get a lot of messages and there's a lot of request messages and, there's a lot of orders and I'm just sometimes I get overwhelmed because it's only me doing my business. I don't have no other. Team. I mean, I don't have a team, so I'm the one that has to reply. I'm the one that has to post and this and that. So sometimes it does get to me a lot where I'm just like, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm kind of sorry for the people who want orders, but like sometimes you need time to yourself as well. So that's what like kind of gets me. I'm just like, okay, I can't do this. I'm dreading it right now. Like, I don't want to, like, but I feel like just, and the more I think about it, like, my boyfriend's there for me. My family is there for me. I have my boyfriend's family who supports me. Like, I just feel like I have a lot of support and I have a lot of people that they ask me, like, how's your business going? What are you doing? Like, how's it going? Is it growing the way you wanted to? This and that. So I feel like them asking me questions about, like, or like just, just in general, like living my business. I just feel like that helps me motivate myself to keep going and, you know, keep pushing myself. Like, I can do this. Like, I can't give up on myself, you know, like I need to, there's like a point where I'm just like, I need to get back on track. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's like the discipline. I'm just like, no, I can't be lazy. I can't do this. I need to get back on track. I need to promote myself, this and that, you know?
Yeah. So going back to like the friends and stuff, the reason is there a reason why you don't have a team? Do you want to expand? Is there bigger plans for you, like opening a shop? Like what is like the 5-year goal for you?
So it's either between or a food truck or a shop. At first, I was leaning more towards a food truck so I can travel different places and stuff like that. But I feel like the more I've been thinking about it, I'm just like, it would be cool to have my own shop, you know? And then with my friends and family, like right now, I don't have a team. And I just feel like that's because only I know my business. So only I know my clients. Only I know how to take orders and, you know, communicate with people the way I like to do it. So I feel like that's why right now I don't have a team. Like, you know, I just fly solo right now. But eventually, like, when I do have my business, and I do have a shop or anything like that, I do want to bring my family to come help me with it, because they always tell me like, oh, when you get your shop, I'm gonna work with you, or like, you know, this and that. So that helps me too, because I'm just like, okay, like I know not to be scared. I mean, because they're gonna be there and they're gonna help me and they're gonna help me work and everything like that too.
Yeah. What about social media? What do you think about social media? How have you been marketing yourself in social media? Has it been working how you wanted to, or is it things that you feel that you can that you still need to try out?
I feel like it's been going pretty good. I like, you know, I have my own vision for my Instagram or TikTok. So I just, anytime I do things, I take pictures the way I want them to and everything like that. And then I have a lot of creativity. So when it comes to making posts about my pop-ups or anything like that, like I'm just like, okay, this is my vision. This is it. So one of my TikToks actually went viral on my business page. It has 1.8 million views. So like that helped me like set off a lot. So from those viewers and followers transferred to my Instagram. So a lot of, at that time, because the video that went viral, they're called lunchbox cakes. So they're mini cakes that have like any image you can think of. So like the cake I made you, it would be that image, but just a smaller version. You know, not a lot of people like cake, so not everyone would want a big cake. They just want something small. So it was just a little video of like the different designs I had done. It was my first time doing it. I was like, let me just try it and see how it goes.
First time.
Yeah. So literally, it was crazy because I was working at an agency at that time. And I had put in my 2-week notice. But at that time, I was like, dang, like I was already overthinking it. And I was like, should I really put in my 2 weeks? Like, I was like, I don't know if this is the right decision, because I was going to go full time in my business. So I was like, I don't know if this is the right decision, like money wise. Like I was just thinking about money and like this. And I was like, dude, I don't know if I should do this. So I put in my 2 weeks. But the next day I was literally going to pull back my 2 weeks and be like, wait, never mind. I regret it. Yeah, like I'm just kidding. But so when I woke up, sorry, backtracking. So when I woke up the next day from, you know, so I had put my 2 weeks in before I had posted that. I put in my 2 weeks the same day I posted that TikTok. So, you know, that's when I was like, nah, I'm gonna go back tomorrow. But like, just kidding. I don't want to put in my 2 weeks. So when I woke up in the morning, I saw my TikTok had blew up. So it was getting a lot of views, a lot of likes. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? Like, my TikTok is blowing up or whatever. So yeah, I walk into work and my coworker's like, hey, like, pack your stuff. We're cutting your 2 weeks short. And I was like, oh, like, just like that. Like, they didn't really tell me anything. Like, oh yeah, like, not even the main manager was there. Someone else told me, like, that was like my leader or whatever. So yeah, she was like, oh yeah, like, this is, you know, we're cutting your 2 weeks short. Like, this is it for you. As soon as I walked in, that's what they told me. And I was like, and I had told him too, like, oh, because I was excited. I was like, oh, my TikTok just blew up, this and that. So it was like a little 5-10 minute convo. And that's when she had told me, like, oh, yeah, we're cutting her 2 weeks short. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know.
Is there a reason why? Was it really mad?
No. So where I was working at the agency, they weren't doing so good. They were kind of like, okay. So that's why.
Like, you're quitting? All right.
So that's why I decided to put my 2 weeks in. And I was like, no, like, I don't like the way where this is going right now. I don't know what's going to happen in the future with that company. So that's why I was like, oh. So yeah, when they cut my 2 weeks short, I was like, dang, like I was about to say, just kidding, like I'm staying here. And then, you know, for that to happen, I was like, so yeah. And then the next day after that, that's when I had just saw my TikTok kept blowing up, and it got 1.8 million views. So I was just like, dang, like this is crazy.
That's fucking crazy. So what is that type of millions of views do to your mind? Does that motivate you? Does that scare you? Does it overwhelm you? Like what kind of emotions does goes through your fucking body?
It excites me, but it's also overwhelming at the same time because, like I said, all those viewers and likes that I got from that TikTok transferred to my Instagram. So I had a lot of people DMing me like, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to order for this day, this day, this day," or like, "Do you have time? Do you travel?" Like, people wanted me to travel 2 hours away to give them a little lunchbox cake, and like, I actually had a pop up at where I work at, my boyfriend's sister's coffee shop. So like I said, I saw my true star as well. So I had a pop up there and I debuted like the first day actually having my lunchbox cakes available. So I had around 30, 40 little lunchbox cakes there, selling them with just different images, like different things, and themes. So I had people that drove 2 hours away to come get a cake. They're like, "Oh, I came from LA. Like, I really loved your cakes." And I had people from different areas like New York, Chicago. "Do you ship cakes? Do you ship cakes?"
That's
Like stuff like that. And
crazy.
I'm just like, it's like amazing to see like people want me to like they want my cake. They want what I created and they'll be like, "Can you ship it? Can you do this?" Like they drove 2 hours away just to come see me, just to
Yeah.
get a treat from me. Like that's just crazy to think of.
That's just crazy. I didn't know. I didn't know. Honestly, when I do interviews, I try not to do a lot of research
Mm-hmm.
because I genuinely want to get to know like who I'm having on, right?
Yeah.
Um, but to think that, how old are you right now?
I'm 21.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I used to be a DJ for 10 years. And I actually DJ your
Yeah,
quinceañera.
you did my quince.
So that's fucking full circle right now for
Yeah,
me because I'm like, what the fuck? Like you're doing your business, I'm doing my business in
yeah.
a different area. Um, so it's cool and it's exciting to see someone so young and someone that I literally, saw growing up,
Yeah.
basically, doing your thing. Like I'm super proud of you. I'm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm, I'm like hearing what you're saying and your journey and your story and the things that you've obviously or are overcoming when it comes down like to a day. I know sometimes like there's things that even in our personal life are hard. It can be their self-esteem issues. It can be the way we look. It can be like whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like those things affect us day to day.
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, like you have to throw yourself out there and put yourself out there. Your
Mm-hmm.
image, like your personality, who you are, your creativity, and you're putting it out there for people to judge in a way, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's fucking hard because sometimes things can come the wrong way. Just like that viral video can do so well,
Yeah.
there's also some whack ass people out there that can comment some
Mm-hmm.
nasty shit.
Yeah.
So like for you to continue to grow and continue to push, it's super motivating for me, and it's like you're an inspiration as well. To you are basically an influence to people that are watching this,
Yeah.
So what does your mom think about? What do you think your mom feels about you?
um, I just think like we do have fights here and there. Like, I've told her things. I feel like we have those days where we bicker. We obviously argue and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, she is hard on me. She's like, "No, Leslie, you need to be like this. You need to do this, like this and that." But at the end of the day, like, my love for my mom is like no other. Like, I know her love for me is like no other either. Like, at the end of the day, she just wants to see me succeed. So she's like proud of me for, continuing my business. And, she sees like what I'm doing and stuff. And I could see like she's like excited when I sell out. She'll be like, she's texting me like, "Oh, did you sell out? How many do you have left?" Like this and that. So, she likes to see like my progress and my accomplishments and everything like that. So I feel like even just for my siblings, I feel like it's good for me to like be doing what I'm doing because I hope like I can influence them or like, motivate them to do what they want to do. And like I said, I'm always gonna be there. When they want to do what they want to do, I'm always gonna be there for them and like ready. I'm gonna be like, "Okay, you want to start this, and I'm gonna be here. We're gonna go with this together.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, yeah, my mom's just, she's been a big part of my business since the beginning. Since we both grew up with it together, and we just separated. But just because we have our separate businesses does not mean we're not gonna help each other out.
Yeah. Question: as a dad, I tend to like obviously, I feel that I may be like your mom,
Mm-hmm.
maybe because I also am like that with my kids, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, what do you want to do? What are you doing to continue to grow, to continue to expand your brain? Not necessarily work,
Mm-hmm.
but in general things, right? Get to learn different things, try different things, explore.
Yeah.
But then when they do their business, it's like, I want you to try your 100%. I don't want you to go half-assed because, and in that case, you're not trying. I am willing to invest in my kids' business as long as they try 100%. If they don't like it within the next 2 years, then we can change. I want them to learn different things, right? But with that, I always wonder, am I pressuring my kids too much in terms of the expectation that I have towards them? Do you feel that from all the people that are around you, not necessarily your mom, but like just in general, do you feel pressured to be successful, or is it something that you just genuinely enjoy?
Sometimes I feel pressure because I'm just like, is what I'm doing enough? Like, am I going in the right path? Like, is this what I want to do? Like, so sometimes I do feel pressure because, like I said, I'm that type of person that like I want to make sure they're proud of me. Like, I want to make sure they're believing in me and not giving up on me. And I'm just like, I want to prove to them like, no, this is, it's going in the right path. Like, I could do this. So I don't want people, I want to always make sure like is my business enough, and like what I'm doing enough and stuff like that. So sometimes I do feel that pressure, but at the same time I don't let that get to me. I don't know, it's kind of complicated, but I'm just like, okay,
you have to block out emotions sometimes.
So yeah, sometimes I do that where I'm just like, no, like, they might not believe in me, or these people may not, they might not be thinking what I'm thinking at the end of the day, because like everyone has a different vision, everyone has a different dream and everything. So I'm just like, no, like, at the end of the day I have to keep going, and I see, I see a lot of things in my business, so I'm just like, I have to keep going. I had to, like you said, block out that negative energy and just keep doing what I want to do.
Yeah. Do you think you're crazy sometimes, like as an entrepreneur? Like, do you feel like sometimes you're like, dude, am I fucking crazy? Because sometimes people make us feel like that, where it's like, dude, are we, like, I really think about it, like, fuck, am I fucking tripping, or am I like just, this is just, I see it so clear what I want to do, but no one else really understands what the fuck I'm talking about. They're just like,
sometimes I do. I'm just like, am I crazy? I was like, does no one see what I'm seeing? I'm just like, I would just want everyone like I just want everyone to believe in me. Everyone to like, I'm just like, no, like, you guys, I'm like, I see myself in a food truck, or I see myself in the shop. I was like, no, I see myself, like, my business blowing up. Like, whether it takes a year to 10 years, I was like, I just know, like, this is it. This is what I want to do. I was just like, really? Like, no one else seeing this but me? But
yeah. So how many years have you been doing it, like, as a business?
It's been 3 to 4 years.
3 or 4 years. And then how long has it been since your TikTok blew up?
It's been like a year, maybe less.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck. So like, you're barely starting.
Yeah.
You're barely starting. That's crazy. So besides the shop, what is there anything else that has been in your mind besides like the business? Is there any things that you want to do for fun? Is there traveling? Like, what is something that's like a distraction that, because we all need that, right? We all need that distraction. Me, I mean, I'm lazy. I like to watch Netflix movies. That's if I can watch movies, which it does suck because I start looking at the camera angles like, oh, that you did this.
You're like, no.
Yeah. So it's like, but what is your escapism? What is something that you do to like escape the business part of your life?
I'm like, I like everything. I
Shopping,
don't know. Yeah. I like traveling. Like, I've been traveling recently. Like, I just went to Puerto Vallarta with my whole family, and that was a good getaway, being with all my family, my cousins, my boyfriend. Like, I like travel. I don't travel a lot because I don't got that kind of money. But when I do, like, little places like Mexico, we went to Puerto Vallarta. I'm going on a cruise this year, and then I'm going to Guadalajara with my family too. I feel like that, and I feel like just being in casual surroundings with my family. Like, I love being with my family, my boyfriend and his family. Like, little outgoings. It's not like, oh yeah, let's go to a coffee shop, or let's do this, or yeah, let's have a barbecue. I just feel like, when I'm with them, I just like, okay, I'm relieved that, like,
very
that's
family oriented.
Yeah, I'm a very family oriented person. Yeah.
So to wrap up the episode, I like to end the episodes with value to the viewers. If there's something that you can share with them, a tip, advice to someone that's starting out, either pastries or whatever it is in terms of like small business, what would you say to them?
I would just say, if you have that dream in your head, if you have that vision, if you want to go towards something, to not give up. Like, believe in yourself. If whether you're self-taught or you go to school for it, like, just keep going. Like, no matter what goes in your way, what doesn't, like, God has that plan for you, and God has that plan for everyone. That when you have that dream in your head, just go for it. Go all in. Like, whether it goes, there is up and downs to it, whether, but I just feel like at the same time, like,
You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose. It is what it is. And I'm just like, like I said, I always see a lot of potential in anyone. So I believe in everyone and what they want their vision to be and what they want their business to be.
Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate the time. I know you drove. I don't know how long, but I appreciate you. Congratulations on everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Once again, I'm super proud. And you have our doors open whenever you need anything from us. Just know that you have our back. We have your back. This was today's episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new to this channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Bye.